what part of that advancement piece do you want me to do? Do you want me to cultivate the user group, which is the head coaches? You're the experts of your program. What do you want to create? Do you want to create a new stadium? Do you want to build on the other side of the stadium? Do you want a new field house? Do you want a $35 million new field house? Do you want a new satellite athletic training room? Do you want a new Connex where all the coaches' offices are together? Do you want permanent bathrooms out of the softball field, right? I mean, do you want these things, and do you want this type of new concourse? Do you want to think about the next 30 to 50 years of Linfield athletics? So depending upon what this president, and I realize she's only here, I think, for another year, what piece of the puzzle do you want? Or do you want me with donors on Fridays and Saturday nights, hobnobbing with certain groups? I'll do whatever facet of the fundraising they want me to do. I've done pieces of it all, from build a capital project to meet with an architect. This is a $56 million project. Now, mind you, this is back, I believe, in 2021, 22. So it's probably up to $80 million for steel now if they're coming out of COVID, right? Because everything's gone up, right? We're in an election year, so on and so forth. So whatever the president wants me to do, I will align. I will never deviate because you have an amazing advancement team here and ever overstep them. So I will make sure that I steward the group that they give me. I will find the strategic plan that they give me, and I will work in alignment of whatever they want. Because that's what your next director of athletics should do. But I need to find out from the user group, and you are the user group. You are the head coaches. You know, you're leading this campus. You're competing against your conference and your regional and your national competitors. You know what it's going to take to get that high-powered recruit here. You know what's going to keep that championship, record going for the next 5, 15, 20, 30 years when you pass the baton to the next head coach. But we've got to start thinking of what the next 30, 50, 60 years is. Who's going to come behind all of us? So I'm willing, and I understand that we've got to be thinking forward thinking, not just right now. And I know it's easy to think about right now and put our heels down. I don't have enough meal money. I don't have enough uniforms. I don't have enough soccer balls. I know it's easy to get caught in that negative rut. I understand. Many of you are tired. Those of you who have been here 20 plus years, you're tired and you're frustrated. Look at this change as a reset. Yes, it is a reset. That's what athletics is. This is a reset. Look at this as a positive change. No matter who you hire or who you endorse, no matter if you like the person who comes in that door or not, look at this as a positive opportunity for change. So whatever avenue this president wants, if she wants me to create a $60 million new athletic connex and says, Karen, I need you to meet with these 100 donors, you got it. My next calendar for the next year, okay, coaches, we might do some satellite meetings on Zoom or Teams. You got it. I'm going to be flying wherever she wants me. I'll be as present as I possibly can around all the meetings that she wants. So I am willing to do whatever is needed to provide the most excellent environment for all of you to succeed, because that's what is required.
I don't know if this is a follow-up, but if it's not appropriate, then that's fine. Because you mentioned organizational structure.
Yes.
What is your ideal organizational structure based on what you know about Linfield? And maybe you don't know enough, but what does that look like for you?
I would just like to know what's changed since February.
Not much.
Structural wise has been the same.
Same? Yeah. Yeah, this is not much has changed.
Yeah, yes.
Well, one thing is they're eliminating positions, so Linfield's downsizing faculty and other positions, so that's been quite contentious. Will continue to be so.
They eliminated positions in this department.
One. So.
Can you share which?
You can share.
Okay, for that one, but I know that there's more to come, you know, across campus, hopefully not in our department, but, we all know Linfield's fighting for its existence.
Was that a full-time position?
What's that?
Was that a full-time position?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have had 8 full-time positions throughout the campus that have been either a planned retirement or being let go. I just will share that just
Yeah.
because, you know, that might be a good information to have. And then, lost this time real quick. So, some of them are planned retirement, some of them are just, so the president and their direct reports area, which are the vice president's area, as well as athletics. Everyone is going back to evaluate their team and see if there is certain position that could be absorbed from different area amongst their department. So they did that deep dive, and then, so essentially each department had one position being eliminated. But overall, it's about 17 positions for staff, but other than that 8 that's actually were still here,
Mhm.
the other ones, those are open positions that we're just taking away. So that's what's happening, so each department will have one person that, other than the president's office, because, you know, it was just me and Peggy, so can't really go anywhere.
Are all head coaches full-time?
No.
No.
Tennis.
Tennis.
golf,
Cheer dance.
cheer dance.
I don't know how much, I don't know how you're structured because I know. I don't know.
I'll look on the.
Okay. Thank you. So, thank you. Great discussion. So I am going to go to the next question. How do you stay abreast of all of the going-ons in each program? What techniques, what strategies do you use to ensure that you are aware of student, coach, or program issues when you can only be in one place at a time?
Well, it kind of goes back to the org chart. I mean, I think we're touching on a lot in our open discussions, and I really appreciate the open dialogues and the discussions. So I built an executive team, and I feel that it's really important. I meet every Wednesday for an hour and a half with my executive team. I brought in my head athletic trainer, which so much happens in the athletic training room, right? I mean, coaches, building that trust with your head athletic trainer is really key. I promoted my head athletic trainer to an assistant AD, and he also is in charge of our sport performance, and we launched Kill All or Fit across our campus because in the maritime industry, we just were having more and more individuals die of cardiac arrest, and so we wanted to become a heart-safe campus. And I shared, I believe, last time I was here, that I lost my husband at 61 years old of a massive heart attack going up the stairs. And so we launched on campus where we were trying to get at least 65% of folks with a first aid, CPR trained, which I'm excited by the end of this school year, we will meet that. And so every Wednesday in that executive meeting, I have him, I also have my aquatics director who also coaches men's and women's water polo, we meet, my associate AD of recreation intramurals, my athletics administrative coordinator, because she handles all of the processing, which it sounds like Mary Jo does, because she does all the travel, all the processing, she knows who's borderline about to go over their budget, who turns things in on time, who doesn't. Not that she's telling on coaches, but she gives me the gentle reminders that this coach needs a little nudge. And so it's where we get a pulse on the department, and that's where trust is built. And we come together for an hour and a half, and we find out who needs what, and we have tactical meetings, and we talk about what's happening in the week, of what's coming up on the weekend, because as you know, in athletics, a lot of things happen at different times, but majority happens in our world, in our department, on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, just because majority of our planning is schedules. They can't miss a lot of class, so a lot of our schedules are built Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. And we color code everything, red, yellow, and green. And if there's a project that goes into a red where someone's a lead of that project and they need help, it goes to a red. And if they're the lead of that project and they can't get it done, it goes to a red. And then we all lean in, no matter if it's me, the AD, or an assistant AD, or associate AD, or our athletics coordinator, we all lean in and go, okay, bring the project to the table, and what do you need help with? Well, I can't get here at 8 a.m. because my daughter has a cheer competition or a volleyball competition. I can get here at 10, can you cover and open the gate at 8? Well, absolutely, I'll open the gate at 7:45. Just that collaboration in that, like, I'll lean in, I'll help you, or I'll pick up bagels and coffee. Or, you know, can you meet and give the officials the parking pass? It's the basic things, no matter what your title is, we all lean in and we help each other. And it's not about title or hierarchy, it's where we all lean in and we help each other. And I have found that creating that cohesiveness is truly key. And I was talking to a Division I AD, and she said, you know, I've lost sight of that now that I'm a Division I AD. And I wish I could get back to my roots when I was a Division III AD. And I said, well, why don't you go back to it? She goes, because they probably laugh at me and they probably would think that I'm just being fake. And I go, no, be the genuine administrator where you value what you do. Get back to getting into the trenches where you can pick up the rake and go line a field. Because I know how to line a field. I know how to properly line a field. I might need to look at the rule book because it might have changed since 2014. And I want to make sure I know the dimensions of the actual batter's box, right? But I could do it. And I would earn the respect of my coaches, my staff members, to know that I would do it. So you got to build trust. And you gotta ask people if they need help, and you gotta be willing to follow through with your word. So I can't be everywhere. At times I'm gonna need to take a break, and I've gotta build trust to where when I need to have my family time and check out, that I've built that trust, because true ADs are on call, 365, 24/7. And someone asked me, what happens when you burn out? No, I build trust so that when I need my family time and I check out and I turn off my phone and I turn off my email, you know I'm with my family, but I put my acting administrator in charge, and they've got it. They've got it. And I fully put them in charge, and they've got it. So go to Steve, go to Casey, go to whoever I've appointed as the administrator in charge, and I trust them wholeheartedly.
Thank you. Follow-up question? Yes.
No, sorry, apologies, I have to duck out, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
thank you.
Nice to meet you.
We have about 5 minutes left. A couple more questions, but I'm gonna, let me just see which one goes down. Okay. What challenges have you observed in athletic departments in regards to gender equity? Tell us about a time when you have to address an issue of gender equity within athletics. What happened? How did you handle that? And what would you do differently next time?
Well, I mean, I shared it in the last session. It's pretty poignant, and I think every day I look at my daughter and look at the ring that I shared this last February when I was here. I passed around my portfolio. I coached at UC Davis from 2004 to 2014. And if you've been down in the Bay Area, you know, if you've been on UC Davis's campus, LaRue softball field's on the corner. It's kind of separate. And if you go down the street to the baseball field, it's right next to the pavilion. And it's a stadium versus the softball field. It's upgraded since I was a coach there. But if you know anything about softball, the majority of the games are doubleheaders. Back then, you only had 20 minutes between games. I don't know if coach now, you get 30 minutes between games. And we had porta potties. Well, I had my daughter 2008, and we're in the transition of Big West, going from the CCAA to Division II conference to the Big West conference. And I chose, as a mother, to breastfeed my daughter. Well, we didn't have power. We had an extension cord out for our sports information director because we didn't have Wi-Fi on the billboard. And I chose to pump in between my double header. Now, it doesn't matter if you're a male or female. If you know anyone who needs to pump, back in 2008, we didn't have wireless pumps. So I had to pump in a porta potty. So I brought this forward. Now mind you, when I got hired in 2004, I was given plans to a stadium because I inherited a Division II championship program. I was handed plans to a new stadium when I took the job. Hi Karen, you're our new coach. You're going to transition us from Division II, national champions, Division II. Kathy DeYoung has endorsed you. She wants you to take over this program. Here's the plans we're going to build for you. Yada yada, Division I program. Yes, awesome. Okay. Porta potties. Had a daughter. 3 years into Division I, we win the Big West title. Hence the ring. Okay, done. My daughter's growing up. Big West title. I'm thinking, okay, here's my time. I'm going to bring this forward. Worst decision of my life. Wasn't educated in Title IX. Thought I had championship. Still have the plans. Worst decision going into the AD going, okay, it's time. Baseball down the street has got plenty of restrooms, beautiful stadium, pavilion next door. Where's my stadium? Well, needless to say, I went into administration in the summer of 2014. What I would do differently is that I would just get educated earlier in my career. I'm older and I'm wiser. It's not always good to go, guns a-blazing into a room. And I see things in a much different light as I get older, but just becoming more educated earlier in your career. And I think that's something that I see in regards to gender equity. New Title IX regs just came out last Friday. I am a CSU hearing advisor, and there's a lot of changes that are incurred. The athletics piece is not part of the Title IX, just so you know right now, because we're in a very volatile political environment, as you can probably see if you watch news. So athletics hasn't hit that element yet, but it will, probably closer to a political charge. But there's a lot of things in regards to gender equity that are hitting. But I've lived it. And got asked to speak at a national convention just a couple weeks ago about being the only woman in the room and having to represent the underrepresented. So, but it's a path, and it could do things a lot differently. You don't need to be the loudest voice in the room to be heard. You just get educated. But there's a lot of myths and a lot of things that people don't understand. You don't just compare sport to sport. And just because football has it doesn't mean that softball gets it. And just because baseball has it doesn't mean softball gets it. There's a lot of misconceptions. We just need to educate people as much as possible. So I think just education is key. We just need to educate people. And the more educating that occurs, it relieves the pressure and the misnomers, and it really just, it creates the cohesiveness. We need to go after our opponents, not each other. So that's what I think needs to happen.
Anybody? Yes.
So with that education, what's the biggest thing you learned from that?
Don't go immediately in expecting a directive. Don't go in and say, I demand this. That is not a good way to go into an AD's office, because you don't ever get what you want. Demand letters, demand statements are not the way to go. I don't encourage that in any realm, no matter what the personality is of the individual.
All right, well, this is all the time we got. If we can take I have one more question.
Yeah, please.
Take like 2-3 minutes then, because we have the next Zoom coming in, but I think this will be a good question for us too. what's your ideal environment in an athletic department? How would you set the tone to align that ideal?
Well, we're in athletics. We have new seasons every year, right? And that's what's amazing about it. This is a reset. And I know change is scary for most people, but hopefully you're looking at this as an opportunity for a change. No matter who comes in that door, hopefully you're looking at this as a positive way. No matter if you embrace that individual or not, look at this as a positive opportunity of change. And I really, hopefully that you are looking at this opportunity as an ethos and culture and a reset. I want to respect the past. I think you have been working very hard. Some of you need some support. And I'm excited to be in the trenches with all of you. I respect many of you and want to get to know all of you, and hopefully you get to know me. And I want to move my daughter to this amazing community. And I think this is an amazing place. And so, but we've got to get to know each other and build that trust. And I feel that that's something that needs to happen. I think that Linfield is in a wonderful, amazing culture. Do we need to fix a few things? Absolutely. Every place needs a little fluff, a little reset. But you've been doing some amazing things. You really have. You have been doing, and the nation needs to know more about you. I was talking in the first group, like, gosh, history is being made here. And I feel like we've only just scratched the surface, right? I really do. Like, we've only scratched the surface of really how people need to know more about Linfield. And I'd love to be, helping you lift that and getting more of what you are out there. Even if you don't like to be on the limelight, let's put you and your student athletes out there more in your comfortable way, and create that positive culture.
All right, anybody with this? That concludes our session today. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, we'll just wrap the portfolio and papers, yeah. Good luck today, Coach.
Thank you.
Georgetown. Oh, yeah, you have. Yeah, we have 5 minutes. Oh, 5 minutes. Okay, there's some facts.
5 minutes, 5 minutes.
That will
That's
be,
what.
I'll probably change and then I'll come blue out, but yeah, tomorrow should be.
How's the forecast look?
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll let you
It'll be good, it'll be good.
Bye-bye.
Bye, good to see you.
Right outside the stadium.
Probably know,
Yes, I know, Dwayne. Teach rock climbing right when I taught Dwayne, yes. Dwayne and I used to teach right next to each other.
one of the, if not the hottest national amateur coach was at
Right out.
UCA
Oh.
in early September.
Yes.
No lights in the afternoon.
Oh, goodness. Oh, geez.
We do that already.
Oh, no. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness, oh, goodness.
We'll
Thank
see
you
ya.
so much. Thank you, thank you. Nice to meet you too. Thank you. Good to see you, good to see you, good to see you.
Coach, see you.
Thanks.
Good to see you, thank you.